Hi everyone, thank you for joining this episode of our Let's Talk Sustainability Tech Talk series. I'm Göksel Aral, a solution architect for Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability. We know that generative AI and Copilot are all rage today, and nearly every product from Microsoft has a Copilot to enhance productivity. In today's talk, I'm really excited to show you how to extend Copilot in Microsoft Sustainability Manager to unlock the potential to accelerate productivity, operations, and usability. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you, Goxel. And hi, everyone. I am Divya Perumal, same as Goxel. I am a solution architect for Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability. Let's quickly look at the agenda. We will look at a new feature that enables us to extend Copilot in Sustainability Manager and walk you through how you can extend it. We are also going to look at 4 different use cases for extended Copilot and how you can try them out too. Goxel, a simple question, right? Why should we extend the Copilot in Microsoft Sustainability Manager?
So, why should you extend Copilot in Sustainability Manager? First, improving the user experience in Sustainability Manager. You can extend the Copilot to access product documentation or enterprise knowledge directly within the application. This means there is no need for the user to switch between platforms or waste time searching. Everything you need is right at their fingertips. Next, enhancing productivity with automation. You can extend the Copilot to create prompt-driven automations to handle repetitive, error-prone tasks. By reducing manual intervention, not only do we save time, but we also significantly reduce the likelihood of errors. And finally, enhancing operations. You can extend the Copilot to provide clear guidance to help users follow the correct steps to resolve errors. This ensures smoother processes, fewer mistakes, and more confidence in the day-to-day operations. Now, Divya, can you tell our listeners what's the new feature to extend Copilot in Microsoft Sustainability Manager?
Now, we all know that there is a Copilot in Microsoft Sustainability Manager. It comes with these 4 capabilities out of the box: summarize and query data, generate reports, generate calculation models, and analyze documents. A new feature was announced in November 2024 that enables us to extend Copilot in Sustainability Manager with Copilot Studio. The prerequisites to extend the Copilot in Sustainability Manager are to have Copilot Studio and a Sustainability Manager Premium license. When you open Copilot Studio in the same environment where you have Microsoft Sustainability Manager installed, you will find an agent called Sustainability Copilot Bot. When you explore the Copilot, you will find built-in topics and actions provided, and you can start extending that agent with new topics, actions, and knowledge. Goxel, could you share the extension scenarios supported by Copilot Studio?
Certainly, Divya. You can build agents in Copilot Studio by configuring topics, actions, and knowledge sources. The same principles apply here. We can open the Sustainability Copilot bot and then extend it by doing any of the following. Firstly, adding knowledge sources like public websites, SharePoint folders, database tables, or some enterprise Copilot connectors. Second, adding custom topics. You can add messages, questions, and conditions within a topic. You can also add generative actions to use knowledge or Bing custom search. You can also call actions such as Power Automate flows, AI Builder prompts, or make HTTP calls from within a topic. Thirdly, the using actions with custom agents, which is a preview feature announced in November 2024 Ignite event. When you turn on generative orchestration, your agent can automatically select the most appropriate action or topic to respond to a user. This action can again be a Power Automate flow, a custom API connector, AI Builder prompt, or a bot framework skills. And lastly, for complex scenarios, you can bring your own bot skills into from the Azure Bot Framework and your Azure AI Search or your Azure OpenAI services as data sources to the topic. The extension is a 3-step process in summary. You open the Copilot Sustainability Bot agent in Copilot Studio. You customize by adding one of the features that we just discussed, like knowledge sources, topics, and actions, and test it within the studio. And lastly, publish the Copilot to see the changes in Microsoft Sustainability Manager. You can add these extensions to a Power App solution to promote to lower environments like your development or your test environment. Divya, what are the demo scenarios we will be presenting today?
Today, we are going to use a combination of these Copilot Studio extension features that Goxel has just explained. Here, we are going to enable Copilot to access product documentation using topic and Bing custom search, set up a custom emission factor library with Copilot agents and AI prompts, access enterprise knowledge by using API actions, improve operations by solving ingestion errors using custom topics and action. Goxel, could you demonstrate the first two scenarios?
Sure. Before we start the demos, let's quickly look at the list of prerequisites you may need to run the same at your own environment. You may get the details from this AKMS link added here. In this first demo, we would like to access Sustainability Manager product documentation from Copilot in Sustainability Manager. This will allow users to access some key information without having to leave the application. We will use custom topics and Bing custom search for this demo. As a high-level flow of the demo, we will create a custom topic in Copilot Studio, create a custom Bing configuration pointing to needed websites, and set our custom Bing search configuration as a data source at our custom topic generative answer action. Let's see our demo. How to extend Copilot within Sustainability Manager with a new topic that will use your Bing custom search and read that result to show in this Copilot. So for this exercise, sample YAML file is located in our GitHub repository, which is in this Access Public Info folder. And if you go here, you could look at this YAML file, which we will copy this one. And then we will go to Copilot Studio, where you can see the built-in Copilot for Sustainability Manager as with this name, so Sustainability Copilot bot. So you click that one, and you go to the topics and add a new topic from blank. So rather than we do this manually, we will use the one that's in the sample YAML file, which we add here, and we save this one. So this topic has trigger phases of Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability or Sustainability Manager, and it has this generative answer using the Bing custom search as the data source. So if you go here and click edit under classic data, you will see a Bing custom search configuration ID. So this is our sample search configuration ID. If you want to use your own, so you basically go to Bing custom search, log in with your Microsoft credential, and then click to create a new instance. As you want to include in your custom search. So it needs to be to level depth, so I will remove the language piece. And whenever you can add multiple URLs here, whenever you are done, you can just publish it. It will may take up 24 hours to see the change. Basically, you go to the production and get this custom configuration ID, which you can go back to the video to change this one. After you have done this, you save it, and then let's try the Copilot with this. So I will ask maybe a couple of example prompts that we share here. What's the architecture of Sustainability Manager? So let's ask this question. And return it back with the information that's in the Learn site. Okay, our Copilot is published. Now we can go back to Sustainability site And then I will ask the same question here, which should custom topic. From there, go to the being custom search and return me the result and show up here with the citation to the learn site. Thank you. In this second demo, we would like to create an automation to create custom factor libraries from a table in a PDF document. This will eliminate the manual work to create a custom factor library. We will use custom actions in Copilot Studio to trigger a Power Automate flow, and we will use AI prompts to extract data from a table in PDF file. As a high-level flow of the demo, we will upload the source PDF file to a SharePoint site. We will create a Power Automate flow triggered by Copilot that will do all the automation to extract, transform, and load the data into the emissions factor library. And lastly, we will add this automation to Copilot and let it be explored with the new preview feature of orchestration setting. Let's see our demo. Hello. In this demo, I would like to show you how to use Copilot actions to trigger automation. This demo exercise will use Power Automate, which creates a custom factor library using a PDF file. The PDF file will be put into a SharePoint, and a Power Automate will read it to using the AI prompts to extract the data. So you can get this sample solution from this folder. You will download this zip file and then import to your Maker portal by going to Solutions and Import Solution. And after you import it, it will show you successfully. So let's look at what this solution has. You will define your SharePoint site by going to the same environment variable and choose the site where you put the PDF file. And then you will go to the Cloudflow. As you see, the Power Automate will need to have a specific trigger that is used for Copilots, which is the skills, so you can define parameters to it, and these parameters will be prompted to the end user for them to fill in. So let's go to the Copilot Studio and add this Power Automate, and let's see it in action. So we will go to the agents and find out our Sustainability Copilot bot, which is created with the Sustainability Manager. So we will extend it. So before we go and add our action, make sure that you check this as enabled. So we will go to Actions tab, add an action, and you go to the flow one, which you will automatically see the flow that we imported with the solution. We will click next. It shows those input parameters. So let's create this one. And then let's try out this action. Let's publish Copilot and see it also working in the Sustainability Manager. Okay, so it finds the action. It asks me the same questions. It asks me the file name, which is in SharePoint. Okay, so it is already created. So it creates the factor library, and I will see those emission factors generated here. Thank you. Divya, over to you for the remaining demo scenarios.
Thank you, Goxel. Now, a typical enterprise may have many custom or product-based APIs that expose vital data within the organization. In this use case, we are going to see how we can quickly configure this data for consumption within Copilot in Sustainability Manager. This streamlined approach ensures that users have precise information on demand, invoke actions, and enjoy a cohesive data access experience. This configuration contains these two high-level steps. Step 1 is API configuration. If you have enterprise APIs that you want to use in this use case, begin by getting the endpoints of the API. If it's a sample API, please deploy and note the endpoint. Retrieve the Open API specification file, which provides details on the API endpoints, input, and outputs for various methods in the API. This is needed to configure the action in the agent. Step 2, configure the custom connector actions in Copilot Studio. Enable the generative action and then set up the API as a custom action in Copilot Studio. It's very important to describe the API methods, inputs, and outputs correctly so that the agent knows when to call the API. Now let's watch the demo.
In this demo, we are going to see how we can harness the power of Enterprise API within Microsoft Sustainability Manager Copilot. Typically, enterprises have many APIs that expose actions and critical information within the ecosystem. For the purpose of this demo, we have a sample API, the code for which and the detailed instructions are also available in this repository. And this sample API gives a list of products, the sales revenue, and the owning team. How do we bring it within Copilot, right? For this, like Goxel was telling, go to Copilot Studio and open Sustainability Copilot bot agent and make sure that we have enabled the generative orchestration. Here, we are going to add this API as an action and allow the agent to choose it when required. To add it, add an action, custom connectors, and add an API for a custom connector. Here, we would have to drag and drop the Open API specification file here. So once done, you can click on next and configure the API plugin details. And here, the description of the API is very important because this is what helps the agent identify when to invoke this action. So click on next. It takes a couple of minutes to save it. And here you can specify the authentication details as required. Click on next and click on the action that you want to configure. Give the name, say get products, and the description. And it is also important to fill out all of these description of the outputs and save and close and save and publish the action in the agent. Once that is done, the Microsoft Sustainability Manager, we see there is a lot of cost on laptop, and we would like to know what is the sales revenue for laptops in Conteso. We see that the Copilot is working on it, and the sales revenue is here for us, right? The exactly the amount that is mentioned in the API is fetched for us, and the owning team details is also fetched. Thank you.
When importing data into Microsoft Sustainability Manager, users face errors due to missing reference data. Traditionally, resolving these errors require navigating through various screens to identify and rectify the missing or incorrect data. Now we can extend Copilot in Sustainability Manager to solve such errors in their chat, with AI helping them with similar reference data found in the system. This helps the user easily identify whether they need to insert their data or change the incoming data. This implementation has a lot more nuts and bolts to it. To be more precise, we have 2 custom topics, 4 Power Automate flows, 2 API calls, and 4 AI prompts to power this use case. To break it down at a high level, in the first topic, we trigger when a user queries about an error. This topic then invokes a Power Automate flow to fetch Sustainability Manager connection and calculation errors in the environment. Once the user chooses the error, a resolution is generated by using Bing Custom Search. If the error is an import error due to missing reference data, an option is presented to the user to investigate it further. In the second topic, we address the resolution of the ingestion errors. However, there are certain prerequisite steps here as shown in the slide. We will also see all of these details in the demo.
This use case to solve ingestion errors involves multiple automation steps, and the steps are detailed in this implementation guidance. First, you would need to add 2 topics to Sustainability Copilot bot in Copilot Studio. Import a solution that has 4 Power Automate flows and AI models that are used in this automation, and then set up Azure app registration in your Azure portal and modify the Copilot authentication so that it can call Dataverse APIs from the topic. You would also need to deploy an Azure function, the code of which is present inside this repo, to actually format and filter the ingestion errors. Then finally, you would need to modify the topic to use the Azure function and the configuration that has been set up previously. Now, to take a look at the ingestion error resolver topic, we call an AI prompt to get the reference type of the particular error message, call a Power Automate action to get the connection error details. We then authenticate and fetch the details of the error from the Dataverse API. Then we proceed to call the Azure function to filter, format, and group the errors. Then we go on to call a Power Automate action, which does the heavy lifting of calling the AI models to get similar reference values present in the system. Now, to see this in action, I am in Microsoft Sustainability Manager and looking at an error that is due to the import of mobile combustion activity data. And I want guidance on how to solve this error, and I decide to ask my Copilot. So it asks whether I would like to solve specific errors in my environment, and I say yes. And it is working to fetch the list of errors and gets the error that I'm looking at, right? So I choose to investigate that. And here it is working to get the guidance, that it provides me a detailed guidance on how I can solve it with a link to the public documentation. And it also has a guidance here on would I like to investigate this error further. I say yes. And now it is working to fetch the error details and check whether any similar reference values are there already there within the reference data in the system. Now it has given us the output, which says diesel oil heavy duty equipment transport, which is the activity data that we are trying to insert. And it fetches the top reference values that are matched, that are already present in the reference data. And you can see it is highly matched, right? Diesel oil for heavy duty vehicles and so on. So let me choose to investigate this further, and it gives me two options to resolve. Insert your organization reference data or change your input activity data to reflect the reference data. I choose to insert the reference data, and the Copilot agent is working on it, and it says it has inserted successfully. And it also guides me to run my import again so that the error will be resolved. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We hope this session gave you many ideas on how to unlock the potential of Copilot in Sustainability Manager with the extension capabilities of Copilot Studio. You can find more information about Copilot Studio and Copilot in Microsoft Sustainability Manager with these links. Check out these links to join our communities and follow us on social media, and to learn more about how you can use cloud for sustainability to advance your organization's sustainability goals.